So I just wonder if it's his coaching or the media that has gotten in her head. There's also been so many narratives about Paige Bueckers was the Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark, and I've always thought that that was absolutely an unfair comparison for her. What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club, and welcome to another day of the 12 Days of Radmas, where we are uploading a new video every single weekday until Christmas Day. We are in the final stretch, and I will be donating 50% of these videos to animal shelters in Texas. So obviously, you guys, all of the views, likes, comments, all of the things are greatly appreciated and will also be going to a great cause. With that, you guys, as you can probably tell, I am in a new location. I am now actually in Lyon, France, and I'm filming this video on my iPhone. I have to film it pretty quickly because I'm going to the Asvel versus Paris game. Dre plays for Asvel, so I'm leaving for that shortly. But I did want to jump on here and talk about the UConn versus USC game that was just last night. So obviously, it was a marquee matchup. A lot of people were anticipating it. Paige Bueckers versus Juju Watkins. Now, Paige and Juju are the two biggest names currently in women's college basketball, and these two players actually do guard one another. So when we've talked about women's basketball rivalries with other teams, and specifically with the WNBA, when we talk about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark having this rivalry, they're not truly rivals because they don't get to guard each other. Paige and Juju are very similar in their position. I wouldn't say play style, but they play similar positions, and so they guarded one another. USC came up with the win. They won 72-70. It was a close game towards the end. They were up big at one point, then UConn made a run in the second half. But with that, I do want to share the final stat lines for these two players. So Paige Bueckers ended the game playing 36 minutes, 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And then Juju Watkins ended the game playing 38 minutes with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Now, we've talked about Paige and Juju multiple times on my channel, and I've talked about with Paige how I'm not sure if the UConn system is working in her favor, and I've talked about the dynamic between her and Gino. Definitely check out that video if you guys haven't seen it. I kind of go in depth about that and give you my feelings. And I only have criticism of Paige because I see how much raw talent she has and how much natural ability and what her skill set is like as a guard. Her bag is really deep. And so when you see games where she isn't as aggressive as she can be, or she doesn't play with that kind of fire, it really is a mentality thing. It's less about what her abilities are, because when she wants to score, when she wants to take it to the hoop, a lot of the times, like, she is making plays happen. And I'm not saying that she had a bad game. Like, this is a great stat line. Dropping 22 is nothing to scoff about, but there's always something about Paige. It's always like a quiet 22 points or a quiet 20 points. And as she was a huge reason as to why her team even came back, I just feel like at some point in time, something got in her head. And I don't know if it's like what Gino said about her being obsessed with her efficiency, or if it's like when Gino was saying, oh, she passes too much, or oh, she's taking shots that she shouldn't. And we've went over that in videos too. Like, he sends a lot of mixed messages. So I just wonder if it's his coaching or the media that has gotten in her head. There's also been so many narratives about Paige Bueckers was the Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. And I've always thought that that was absolutely an unfair comparison for her. If you think of when LeBron went to the NBA, the media wasn't immediately trying to find someone to replace LeBron. And that's what it feels like WNBA media, women's college basketball media, is trying to do with Caitlin Clark. And we've went over the reasons as to why. But what I don't think it does is I don't think it sets up these other women properly. Like, I don't think we're focusing on the right things when it comes to Paige's game. Her game is not like Caitlin Clark. It's not the same style. They don't truly play the same position. I almost think that Paige might be better coming off the ball. So if she does get drafted to Dallas and she is playing aside Arike, it might be actually okay. It might be a good thing for her to play beside Arike, because Arike is going to be that one who is ball dominant, who is aggressive, who's going to be taking so many shots, and maybe Paige finds a new style for her game. And I don't want to, from any of this, come down hard on her and say she's a fantastic player. She's an incredible basketball player. And that's why sometimes I feel for her. And I also I get frustrated for her because I think that she could be at that next level of even how she's performing performing now. And another thing that I wanted to point out with this UConn team is it almost feels as if sometimes she's taking a backseat to their freshman, Sarah Strong. Now, let me share with you Sarah Strong's stat line from this game. She put up 22 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Sarah Strong is just a freshman. Like I've talked about in previous videos, I actually got to watch her play a bit when she was in high school. There is something very unique about Sarah Strong. I feel like she is still developing her game and she is already this good, but there is a sort of aggression and just confidence in herself that she has. Like she is okay, even being at UConn as a freshman, one of the powerhouses in women's basketball. Sarah Strong is already ready to try to take over games. Like she already has that mentality. And I wish that Paige had more of that mentality because there is nobody on UConn who is more skilled than Paige. There truly isn't, even when we talk about Sarah. But I did want to highlight for a moment Sarah Strong's highlight reel. So let's check out some highlights from this game. So as you can see here, pop out three. She's a big guard. She, every time, a little face up, turnaround jumper, a post up here. Like she's technically, I don't know if she's playing the 4 for UConn, but she can play anywhere 2 to 4. Again, turnaround, her post moves are good. She can shoot the 3. She has very good court vision. As you can see, some of these passes here, she just threads the needle. She sees it. What I love about her is every time, regardless of what play UConn is running, and they run the same 3 plays every single time. I feel like I've said this before. I think they'd be an easy scout. Turnaround, mid-range jumper here. Every time she's facing the basket, regardless of what play, she's not just staying in the motion, in the flow of the offense. No, she's also looking for her shot because she knows how important it is to their game. And as you can see, a little backdoor cut there to Paige. Fake the handoff, turn around to the bucket. Sarah Strong is playing, and honestly, she's exceeding my expectations from what I saw in high school of her. She is someone to definitely look out for. Now, I do wonder how her game develops at UConn under the UConn system. So let's talk about Juju for a second. It seems like from what I've seen from Juju, she steps up every single time in these big games. She is excited for them. Now, one of the criticisms that has been of Juju or of the USC team, and this maybe I personally think goes to coaching, not to Juju, is that they are keeping her in even when, and this game is not an example of that, but they are keeping Juju in even at the end of games when they are up 30, 40, 50 points. And in one of those games, Juju did leave the game with an injury. Now, luckily she's back now. It was something minor. But there has been this narrative around Juju of, oh, just wait, she's going to break Caitlin Clark's scoring record. And I wonder, and I don't think it's right, if the coach tries to keep her in some of these games to make sure that she can stat pad and to make sure that she can get those points, because I don't think that that's what Juju needs for the development of her game. And once again, that's another added pressure of this Caitlin Clark model that everyone needs everyone to get to Caitlin Clark or to beat Caitlin Clark. It seems to be what the people want. We need to let Juju just continue to develop her game, because I also think with Juju's game, she hasn't truly found what it is that Juju Watkins is and what it is that makes her special. I think number one is her ability to score, but I think that she can expand her game even further than that. But if you put her in this bucket of, oh, she needs to score, she needs to have 30 every game, she needs to beat Caitlin Clark's record, we're going to leave her in when we're up 50 with 4 minutes left in the game, she's not going to be able to develop her game beyond that. I think she's a good defender. I think she's athletic. There was a big play that she had against Paige where she blocked her 3-point shot, made it all the way down to the other end and scored. Juju also has a high basketball IQ, but I would hope that the media and her coach realizes that she can develop into an all-around great basketball player. Like, she can be great on both ends of the court, and it's not only going to be a Carmelo Anthony situation where she's just known for her scoring. So with that, you guys, let me know in the comments below if you watched this matchup, which team you're rooting for, which player you're rooting for. Let me know in the comments below. Of course, thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it and click that little subscribe button, because we are almost done with Radmas. There are 2 videos left, and I'm excited for you guys to see those. And yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Ooh, and